Namaste friends, this is last lecture of year 2020 at the time of recording on 31st December. Year 2020 would be remembered for pain and sorrow that we had due to pandemic caused by coronavirus COVID-19. However, it should also be remembered for the spirit to fight any situation that we come across. We and future generation would remember with pride the fight put by doctors, researchers and health workers. We also remember and pay obeisance to all those who sacrificed their lives in this fight. In previous lectures, we learnt about hydraulic and air brakes. There are certain aspects of brakes that need consideration. In automobiles or other light vehicles, force exerted by driver may be sufficient to actuate brakes. It may not be so in heavy vehicles. With increase in vehicle weight, force exerted by driver to actuate brakes may not be sufficient to decelerate the vehicle. It has been established that with vehicle weight going beyond 3 tons, force exerted by driver is not sufficient to provide required deceleration to vehicle. Therefore, in vehicles with weight more than 3 tons, it is required to supplement the force exerted by driver. One method to supplement this force is to use servo mechanism. Brake boosters also help to supplement the force exerted by driver while applying brakes. We have power brakes that use these boosters to supplement the force exerted by driver. Servo mechanism costs less and can be added to existing brake system. These are used in medium load vehicles with load up to 6 tons or so. For heavy vehicle with load beyond 6 tons, power brakes are used. Servo mechanism and brake boosters are required to have following features. A. Reducing the time interval between pressing of brake pedal and actuation of brakes. This is one of the components of stopping distance that we learnt few lectures back. B. Provide supplement force at wheels to actuate brakes. This should be proportional to that applied by driver on brake pedal. This helps driver to judge the intensity with which brakes are applied. Let us know about these systems in detail. Servo mechanism. As already mentioned, these supplement the force or effort made by driver to actuate brakes. Source of this additional effort are number 1, momentum of vehicle, and number 2, vacuum or air under pressure in air brakes. Initially, servo mechanisms were purely mechanical systems. These were costly. These became obsolete when low-cost vacuum-operated servo mechanism came into existence. In these systems, there are 2 variants. Both use reservoir in cylindrical form. In one variant, it is open at both ends when brakes are not applied. Referring to diagram, A represents when brakes are not applied, whereas B represents when brakes are applied. Reservoir is in cylindrical shape. It is open to atmosphere at both ends. As shown in A, when brakes are not applied, pressure in compartments A and B on both sides of piston is same, that is atmospheric. Side view on right shows cross-sectional area of piston. When brakes are applied, air is exhausted through opening on right, creating vacuum in compartment B. Exhaust of air and creation of vacuum depends upon the braking requirement. Pressure in compartment A is still atmospheric. This sets up a force on piston that supplements the effort made by driver. The magnitude of this force is equal to pressure difference in compartments multiplied by cross-sectional area of piston. In other variant, reservoir or cylinder is closed at both ends. Same degree of vacuum exists in both compartments when brakes are not applied. When brakes are applied, one end is open to atmosphere. This causes increase in pressure in one compartment. Pressure difference in two compartments give rise to force on piston as seen previously. This force supplements the effort made by driver while applying brakes. Reservoirs used in these systems are generally cylindrical in shape. These are connected to induction manifold through pipes with non-return valve. A drain plug is provided at the bottom of reservoir. As brakes are applied repeatedly, large reservoir is required. The problem with large reservoir is that it takes long time to evacuate. This problem is taken care by providing an additional small reservoir. Initially, small reservoir is evacuated. It takes less time. Once it is completely evacuated, evacuation of big reservoir starts. A valve is used to divert evacuating action from small reservoir to big reservoir. Brake booster. These also help in supplementing the effort made by driver at the time of applying brakes. These may have air or fluid in liquid form as working medium. Accordingly, they are air or vacuum boosters or hydraulic boosters. Air or vacuum booster. They work on the principle of pressure difference as already explained. There are two chambers, constant vacuum chamber and controlled vacuum chamber. Vacuum is controlled in second chamber and desired pressure difference is created. Referring to diagram, brake pedal push rod is shown on right side. There is push rod return spring followed by an air valve. Next we can see diaphragm. On right side of diaphragm there is space known as constant vacuum chamber. On the other side of diaphragm is return spring. It is used to return diaphragm to original position when brake pedal is released. Therefore, the name diaphragm return spring. Push rod protruding from booster on left side pushes piston in master cylinder. When brake pedal is pressed, brake pedal push rod on right moves leftwards. It pushes diaphragm and pressure in controlled vacuum chamber starts increasing. Pressure difference is created in two chambers separated by diaphragm. Push rod protruding from booster on left side pushes piston in master cylinder towards left as shown by arrowhead. The force causing this push is due to pressure difference in booster chambers. As already mentioned, its magnitude is pressure difference multiplied by cross-sectional area of piston. This force adds to force exerted by driver on brake pedal. Hydraulic booster. As the name indicates, in hydraulic booster, working medium is fluid in the form of liquid. It uses power steering pump to enhance pressure in booster. Engine runs the pump. When brakes are not applied, pump provides fluid at high pressure to steering system. This supplements the effort made by driver to steer the vehicle. When brakes are applied, fluid at high pressure supplements the braking effort. Referring to diagram, that is a sectioned view to give inner details, input from steering pump is provided to spool valve shown on upper side. Spool valve is provided with annular ring on left side to hold it. It is also provided with seal to prevent leakage of fluid. Next is sleeve spring SS that brings back the sleeve part of valve back to original position after actuation of brake. Next to it is passage in the center. This passage is provided with two ports as can be seen. One on left connects the passage through which supply of fluid from pump and to steering gear is made. Coil spring and conical spring shown next do not allow the leftward movement of spool valve beyond a limit. Upper end of lever is held at the end of valve as can be seen. Lever is pivoted with the help of lever pin. Space shown in white on right constitutes fluid chamber. Other end of lever has push rod L. Far end of push rod pushes the piston towards left. This push supplements the effort made by driver while applying brakes. On lower right side, we have pedal rod connected with input rod. This input rod pushes valve. This valve helps in restricting the leftward movement of input rod in case extra push is applied. This extra push is applied on pedal rod if fluid supply to brake lines is interrupted. First, let us consider normal situation. Driver pushes pedal rod to apply brakes. This pushes input rod against the force of spring S. Input rod pushes valve. Valve in turn pushes the piston. Rod MC on other side pushes piston in master cylinder. Master cylinder has not been shown. Fluid from steering pump is fed to spool valve through the passage. It has been shown with arrow pointing downwards. Through passage provided, fluid goes to a spool valve that moves rightwards. This pushes the upper end of lever towards right. Other end of lever on lower side moves towards left and pushes rod L towards left. This causes pushing of piston. This is supplementary force exerted to apply brakes. Fluid in fluid chamber also pushes head in valve. Fluid travels through space in center. Valve moves in space G on its left side. When brake pedal is released, spring S causes rightward movement of pedal rod. Valve and piston also move towards right. Rod MC moves towards right. Lower end of lever moves towards right. This causes leftward movement of upper end of lever and spool valve. Excess fluid flows back to reservoir through port in spool valve and passage on left, shown by arrow pointing upwards. In case of any problem with fluid supply in brake lines, extra force is required to push the brake pedal. It compresses the spring S more vigorously that actuates the valve. Valve moves towards right. This closes passage with black dot. Supply from fluid chamber stops. Input rod travels and causes valve to move through small distance in space G. This limits the travel of input rod. In literature, valve mechanism explained has also been referred to as travel limiter for input rod. Another option is to use electric pump to operate hydraulic booster. The pump operates only when needed. Heating of fluid used as working medium occurs. To reduce its temperature, cooler is used. Power brake. Power brakes or power assisted brakes were initially used in heavy vehicles. It was essential as due to heavy load vehicle required extra effort during application of brake. Later, these were incorporated in automobiles also. This was done for the convenience of user. Brake boosters are employed in power brake. As already seen, these supplement the effort made by driver at the time of application of brakes. Referring to diagram, the system shown is using hydraulic booster. Other components are steering gear, reservoir, pump and master cylinder. These components are also shown in different blocks as can be seen. Brake pedal is connected to hydraulic booster. Hydraulic booster is connected with master cylinder. Supply lines go to front and rear wheels from master cylinder as shown. Hydraulic booster gets fluid in liquid form from reservoir through pump. As can be seen, hydraulic booster is also connected to steering gear to supplement the effort made to steer vehicle. There are certain indicator lights that help driver and provide safety. These are number 1 warning light and number 2 stop light. Warning light. This light indicates malfunctioning of brakes. If loss of pressure occurs either in front or rear brake line, the light is switched on and driver is alerted. Referring to diagram, there are pressure sensors provided in brake lines to rear and front wheels. A piston with recess is provided in between fluid lines to front and rear wheels as shown. A trigger switch is provided that is operated by piston. At designed pressure difference, piston is positioned as shown in black with trigger switch in the recess. There is no contact between positive and negative terminals, so indicator is off. When there is loss of pressure in say rear pressure line, piston will move towards right as shown in red color. This will cause contact between positive and negative terminals and light will be switched on. This will alert the driver. Similarly, for loss of pressure In front pressure line, piston will move towards left and through same process light will be switched on. Loss of pressure in brake lines causes longer travel for brake pedal. Driver will have to exert extra force to actuate brakes. Stop light. Upon pressing brake pedal, lights on rear and lights on left and right side of vehicle are switched on. Light on rear side awares vehicle at the back of stopping vehicle. Similarly, lights on left and right side indicate the same two vehicles moving by the sides. This is essential for the safety. Mechanical switches were used for this purpose earlier, but now they have been replaced by hydraulic switches. Its operation depends upon the pressure developed in master cylinder. As soon as brake pedal is pressed, circuit is closed and light is illuminated. Here I conclude the discussion for this lecture. By the time you are viewing it, it is 2021, the year of hope. May this new year bring smile and happiness to all my viewers, well-wishers and friends. Thanks for watching.